Hello and welcome to the Rex Show podcast. Today we're going to talk Sacramento area real estate with real estate expert from eXp Realty, Jeremy McNeill. Jeremy, thanks for being on the show.
Hey Rex, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Things are pretty wild right now, so
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, it seems like a very tricky time if you're either buying a house or you're selling a house.
Oh, yeah.
What to do, how to get into the market. Let's start with if you're selling, because a lot of folks are kind of like, hey, is it the right time to sell?
Sure.
What are you seeing kind of happen right now with folks that are a seller putting their home on the market?
So right now, inventory is still super low, and that's good if you're wanting to sell your home because less inventory, basic supply and demand.
Right.
The price of the home is probably going to go for over asking, and you'll have no problem getting it off the market in like a week, 2 weeks max.
Right, multiple offers.
Multiple offers.
Yeah. And so what's the signs? Hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. What are the signs that you should really look at now being in your favor for selling your home?
Well, a lot of people are wanting to move out of California right now. And right now is an opportunity to get top price for your property where you could go out of state, get another property, and live pretty well. Because an opportunity like this is extremely rare where you can get this amount of money for your house.
Right. And right now you're going to be the star. You're going to be the star as folks are looking to buy a home. There's not a lot on the market right now to buy.
There's not. So it's really competitive for the buyer side. If you're a buyer, it's a good opportunity right now too, just because money's cheap, interest rates are low. So you have an opportunity maybe as a first-time buyer to get in there, but it's going to be a bloodbath, competing with like 10, 15 different offers on a property.
Yeah, I think the thing is you want to be one of the few. And right now you would be able to do that if you're putting your home on the market right now to sell. And like you say, multiple offers coming in a very short period of time of you putting that home on the market.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to last forever, guys. That's pretty obvious. So if you even have an inkling or an itch to see what your home is worth, hit me up at 916-904-6948. You can find me on Instagram, Jeremy_McNeill. Let's make it happen for you because it's going to cool down soon, and you don't want to have the whole hindsight's 2020 thing.
Yeah, could you give the number again?
Yeah, 916-904-6948. Call, text me. Like I said, you could hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, Jeremy McNeill. I'm pretty easy to find.
Okay, great. And you're with eXp Realty here in Sacramento, and you really cover the whole region of Sacramento, right?
Yeah, I'll cover anywhere from like all the way up to Auburn, and I'll do some Bay Area stuff too. So I know a lot of people are relocating from the Bay out to Sacramento right now, so I'll help you wherever.
All right. Right now, let's flip the house and talk about if you're looking to buy.
Okay.
Because we just talked about if you're selling, it's kind of your day,
Of
right?
course.
It's your day to shine.
Seller's market for sure.
Right. But if you're a buyer, it's a very, very competitive market for the few properties that are on the market.
Exactly.
And so what can you do as a buyer to get ready if you're thinking about buying a home?
So if you're a buyer right now, I would say the biggest thing you have to have, of course, money, right? And you'll go over asking.
That's good.
But you got to have patience because you're going to get outbid. You're going to be competing with at least 5, 10, 15 other offers. So you have to really bring your patience and wait it out. You'll eventually get a place. It might not be your dream home, but with how low interest rates are, I think it's worth it to get into a spot.
So it's a good time to buy with the interest
Of course,
rates.
yeah. It's a very weird time because it's good for not only the sellers, but also the buyers.
Right.
So that's why this isn't going to last, and I'd say jump as soon as you can.
Now, share with us some of the stories that you're seeing, the buyers that you're dealing with, some of the stories of making that offer on a property and being outbid. Tell us some of those stories and how that's happening.
Yeah, it's tough. So I was working with a lady. I've known her for over a year now, and very sweet lady. She's by herself. She wants a place for her grandkids and her kids to come over. And we went and looked at a condo for her. She doesn't need the biggest place in the world, right? And got outbid by $15,000. She went in at asking. I told her that was probably a bad idea, but that's what she could afford to do.
Sure.
And she got outbid by about $15,000. So you just got to kind of persevere and stay at it.
Right. And that means, keeping your options open and looking at several areas kind of have on a list of
course.
Hey, I'm fine if I get something in Oak Grove. I'm fine if I get something in Rancho Cordova. I'm fine if...
Yeah, you can't be too picky right now, that's for sure.
That seems to be the case right now. And so I think as a buyer, patience, like you just said, is really a key thing because there's so many people out there looking to buy, and you might get outbid. Yeah,
you might get outbid, but look at the positives, guys. Right now might not be a time for you to get in a place, but if you wait a few more months, hence more patience, there's going to be more inventory coming to the market, and you'll still be able to get a place. So you just got to kind of play the long game.
Now, if I'm looking to buy a house, a property, what are some of the things I can do before I talk to somebody like you, a real estate agent, to kind of be prepared and have my paperwork in order?
So I would say have your debt in order. Because debt to income ratio is huge. Pay off the student loans, pay down your car payment, Get your credit score at least above a 680. Try to aim for that 720 range, and talk to a mortgage lender to see what you can actually afford to get pre-approved.
So do you talk to a mortgage lender before they really start talking to you, or is that something you talk to you first and then you talk to the mortgage
I would
lender?
say you could do it either way, but if you contact me, I'll kind of break down how the home buying process or home selling process works. But I have a couple great mortgage lenders, loan officers that have been in the business over 20 years, and they'll get you pre-approved, and they'll let you know what you can afford, so we don't waste time looking at stuff that you may not be able to get, or you might be looking at stuff that's too cheap. Then you get pre-approved, and boom, you're like, oh wow, I can get something in Folsom for $600,000.
Right. So I mean, it sounds to me like if you're looking to buy a home, the key is to be flexible. And not have it set in stone of I got to have this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and all that.
Definitely.
To kind of be flexible. So how is it? Maybe you want a home, but due to the price point things are at right now, maybe a condo. Is that a solution that some people look at, or how
I
does
think
that
that's
work?
definitely a solution. I think home ownership, regardless of when you get your property, is going to have a great return on investment. It's going to have a great ROI. Because time in the market beats timing the market. So sure, stuff might be high now, but if you plan on living in this place 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you'll make money on it. So just getting in there, building some equity is key, rather than just lighting money on fire to paying rent to a landlord every month.
And then the thing we always hear in the media is the first-time buyer programs. Are there a lot of first-time buyer programs out there that can help people get into that first home?
Yeah, there's actually a fair amount of first-time buyer programs that you can do. There's an FHA loan. Most people are under the misconception that you have to put 20% down on a home. You can actually do as little as 3.5% down. 3.5% is crazy. I mean, that's pretty much nothing. And that's great for first-time buyers, and it's great to home ownership. I mean, who doesn't want to own a home? It's still the American dream. Yeah, the American dream still exists.
Now, are you seeing with folks buying a home? Rent in the Sacramento area is outrageous.
Insane.
I mean, really outrageous. For an apartment, you're paying $2,000 a month maybe, or if not more, depending on what part of town you're living in. So are you finding a lot of renters becoming first-time buyers right now?
Oh, of course, because the thing is, rent and a mortgage right now are not that different in price. You might be paying a couple $100 more to actually own your own place instead of renting. So get out of that lease, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and do yourself a favor and buy a property, because renting is not going to do you any good.
Is there a couple key areas in the Sacramento area that if somebody was a first-time buyer or they're looking to buy a home, you would kind of point them in that direction?
Definitely. I think Elk Grove is a great place to look at. If you're a first-time buyer, there's some great starter homes in Rancho Cordova. If you're maybe a little more established and some higher income, you can look at places like Folsom, Roseville, and Rockland. So there's a ton of great neighborhoods. The area is massive.
Now, how about East Sacramento? That seems to be an area that's been popular for years and years in the Sacramento area. East Sacramento, of course, you have the Fab 40s. You also have River Park over in that direction. Are you finding a lot of people looking for, because there's older properties over there, looking for older properties like that?
So East Sac, great area. I grew up in East Sacramento. The only thing I'll say about East Sac, bang for your buck is not great. You're getting an older home. It's a smaller place. All you're paying for is strictly location, pretty much. If you want a bigger place, you're going to want to look at places like Elk Grove, and you'll get way more bang for your buck. But if you want to have that whole East Sac status symbol, then yeah, you can do it. It's fine. You're just going to be paying a lot for it.
Right, exactly. And of course, Midtown continues to be a popular spot for location for a lot of people as well.
Of course.
Yeah. And now, do you work with anybody that's selling their home in the Bay Area to maybe relocate to the Sacramento area?
Of course, yeah. So I'm out in Oakland a decent amount of time. I have a lot of things going on out there, and a ton of people are moving to the Bay Area, guys. If you have a place in the Bay, I recommend putting it on the market with the low inventory, relocating to Sacramento, and you can get like twice the house for half the price practically. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The Bay Area, always expensive, right?
Always.
And stuff. And of course, a lot of people are leaving San Francisco and moving to Sacramento or maybe farther up to Northern California.
The average home price in San Francisco is $1.2 million. So average home price in Sacramento is $400,000. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
So for less than half.
Yeah, and if you're working remotely, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be living in the city. Come on out to Sac, and you'll have a great life.
Right. So what's the best way for folks to get a hold of you? And do you meet with them personally? Are you able to do Zoom calls and stuff like that?
Yeah, we can do either or. I like meeting in person still. We can grab some coffee. I can meet at your place, meet me at my office, whatever. Or we can do Zoom. Either or is fine. It doesn't really matter. You can always call or text me, 916-904-6948. Instagram, Facebook. Guys, I'm easy to find. Hit me up if you have questions.
Right. Repeat the phone number and the contact
again?
info.
All right, cool. Yeah, 916-904-6948. Jeremy_McNeill on Instagram. Jeremy McNeill on Facebook. I'm easy to find, guys.
All right, Jeremy. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on,
I think
Rex.
it's all very good information because I think everybody is kind of wondering really what's going on with the real estate market. And if they own a home, is it a time to sell? Is it a time to look for a new home, something a little more affordable? Maybe you're downsizing.
Sure.
Life changes happen, right?
Things happen, yeah. So if there's a life change, whether you're getting divorced, God forbid, someone dies in your family,
right.
It's going to have to happen. You're going to have to make a change.
Right, exactly. And if you're just, out there looking for a new house or a first-time buyer, like Jeremy just said, a lot of programs are available to you right now at a very low interest rate, right?
All-time lows.
Right. So give Jeremy a call. Jeremy, what's your number again?
916-904-6948. Hopefully I'll be able to help you and your loved ones out. And Rex, thanks again for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, great to have Jeremy McNeill on the show talking real estate in the Sacramento area. Definitely reach out to him on social media or give him a call. It's the Rex Show podcast. We'll catch you next time.